All right, so you're here because you want to be on the cutting edge of health, longevity and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But you don't have time to wade through, all those dense scientific papers and stuff.
Right. Exactly.
That's what we're doing today.
Yeah.
We're diving deep into this really cool molecule called ergothioneine,
Oh, yeah. I love this one.
ET for short.
ET, yeah.
We're going to explore like its connection to our energy levels, our workouts,
Oh, it's so interesting.
and maybe even, how long we live.
Yeah. How long we live, exactly.
So we've got some research here, and we're going to, kind of distill it down.
That's what we do here.
We're going to look at ET's role in supporting our mitochondria,
Yeah, those are those little powerhouses.
which are like the tiny power plants inside our cells.
Yeah, exactly.
So, most people have kind of heard of mitochondria,
Mhm.
but, maybe we don't remember exactly, what they are.
It's been a while since bioclass
Right, exactly.
for most of us.
So they're the energy factories
Yeah.
that take the food we eat,
Yeah.
the air we breathe,
Yeah.
and turn it into energy.
Energy for everything.
Right, for everything.
Moving, thinking.
Just existing.
Right. Being alive.
Existing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously,
Important stuff.
keeping those little mitochondria happy
It's pretty important.
is crucial, right?
Yeah.
And that's where this ergothioneine steps in.
That's where ET comes in.
Right.
Yeah.
So what makes ET, so special when it comes to these mitochondria?
So, one of the most interesting things is that, mitochondria, as we said, they produce energy.
Right.
But in the process of producing energy, they also produce these,
Like a byproduct?
yeah, byproducts, right? Like
Yeah.
waste products
Waste products.
called reactive oxygen species,
ROS.
ROS.
Right.
It's kind of like a car engine
Right.
producing exhaust.
I was going to say that.
Yeah. And in small amounts, these ROS, they can be useful.
Yeah.
They're actually used in cell signaling.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. But if you get too many of them,
Too much exhaust.
yeah, too much exhaust,
Right.
then you get into this state called oxidative stress.
Ah.
And that can actually damage the mitochondria themselves
Oh.
and other parts of the cell.
So they're like,
Yeah.
rusting out.
Yeah, yeah. Rusting out or like,
Getting gunked up.
gunked up. Yeah.
Yeah. And so what's really special about ergothioneine is that it is a very powerful antioxidant,
Oh.
and it actually concentrates within the mitochondria.
Oh.
So it's like offering protection right where it's needed.
Wow. So it's like having like a
Yeah.
little bodyguard
Right.
right
Yeah,
there
right there in the mitochondria.
at the power plant.
Yeah, exactly.
Neutralizing,
Taking care of those ROS,
Not-
mopping up.
all that,
Yeah, exhaust.
exhaust.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So it's not just passively cleaning up damage, though, right?
Right.
I was reading that it actually helps boost this enzyme.
Wow.
What was that called again?
It's called MPST.
MPST.
Yeah, mercaptopyruvate sulfur transferrin.
Oh, I was not gonna try and say that.
That's a mouthful.
It's a mouthful. Yeah.
But what it does is it helps to maintain something called redox balance.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a seesaw,
Okay.
where on one side you have these reactive molecules,
Okay.
like the ROS we were talking about.
Got it.
And on the other side you have the protective molecules, like the antioxidants.
Oh, okay.
And ET helps to keep that seesaw balanced,
Oh.
so that you don't get too much of the bad stuff.
Oh, so it's helping to regulate that?
It's regulating.
Yeah. Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, and MPST is also involved in the energy production process itself.
Oh.
So it's not just cleaning up the exhaust.
Yeah.
It's helping the engine run more efficiently.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So, one of the things I found really fascinating about this whole topic
Yeah.
is that, there's a link between exercise
Oh, yeah. This is cool.
and how our bodies handle ET. Like when we get active, it seems like we get better at using it.
Yeah. It's really interesting how that works.
How does that work?
So basically what happens is when we exercise our bodies, actually increase the activity of a gene
Okay.
that makes the ergothioneine transporter,
Oh.
which sounds complicated, but basically this transporter is what allows ET to get into our cells
Oh.
from our bloodstream.
So it's like a doorway.
It's like a doorway.
Yeah.
And the more doorways you have, the more ET can get in.
Wow. So exercise is building more doorways
It's building more doorways, exactly.
for the ET to get into the cell.
to get into the cells, yeah.
And so it can protect the mitochondria better.
That's the idea.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And there's this master regulator of
Yeah.
mitochondrial production
Yeah.
called PGC1,
PGC1, that's the one.
right? What is that?
So PGC1 is basically, it's like the master switch
Oh.
that turns on the production of new mitochondria.
Oh, wow.
It's called mitochondrial biogenesis.
So exercise flips that switch.
Exercise flips the switch,
Yeah.
and then you get more mitochondria.
More power plants.
More power plants.
Oh, that's so cool.
That's really cool.
So they did this study with mice.
Right, yeah.
And they found that when the mice exercised,
Yeah.
it increased the activity of this PGC1 gene.
Yeah, it really ramped it up.
Oh.
Yeah, and then that was followed by a rise in the activity of that transporter gene we were talking about.
The ET transporter gene.
Yeah, the ET transporter gene.
Oh, wow.
So it seems like there's a connection there.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah. And then they took it a step further and they looked at genetically modified mice
Okay.
that had really high levels of PGC1 all the time.
Okay.
And those mice also had higher levels of the transporter
Oh, wow.
and more ET in their muscle tissue.
So even without exercise?
Yeah, even without exercise.
Just because they had more of that PGC1. Right.
Because they had more of the master switch turned on.
Yeah.
They were just producing more mitochondria and more transporters.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
But there was something kind of weird in that study, right? Like
Right.
the PGC1 levels went way up,
Yeah.
but the ET levels didn't really follow suit.
Yeah, that's the interesting part.
Yeah.
So the PGC1 activity,
Yeah.
it went up like 18-fold.
Huge.
Yeah.
But the ET levels only went up about 30%,
Yeah.
which is still a lot, but
Yeah, it's still a lot, but you'd think it would be more.
yeah, it's not proportional.
Right, it's not proportional.
So what's going on there?
Well, it suggests that there might be other factors at play. Maybe there are other regulatory mechanisms that we haven't discovered yet.
Oh.
Or maybe there's a limit to how much ET the body can actually use,
Yeah.
even with all those transporters.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so there's still a lot we don't know.
So more research is needed.
Research is definitely needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we know that ET seems to be really good for us.
Yeah.
Exercise helps our bodies use it better.
Yeah.
But how do we actually get more of it?
Right, the big question.
Yeah, should we be like, stocking up on supplements?
Yeah. Are we all going to be popping ET pills?
Or can we get it from food?
Well, the good news is that ET is found naturally in a lot of foods.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Like what kinds of foods?
So the richest sources are mushrooms.
Mushrooms.
Mushrooms. Yeah. Particularly certain varieties like king oyster, shiitake porcini.
Those are good ones.
Yeah, those are good ones.
Yeah.
But it's also found in things like beans and legumes.
Oh.
Whole grains like oats and barley.
Okay.
And even organ meats
Oh.
like liver and kidney.
Okay, so like,
Yeah.
if we add those foods to our diet,
Yeah.
does the ET in those foods actually get absorbed?
Yeah, so that's the great thing about ET.
Yeah.
Our bodies have a specific transporter for it.
Right.
That same SLC22A4 we were talking about,
Oh, wow.
that's activated by exercise.
So it's like a double whammy.
The double whammy, yeah.
You work out,
Yeah.
you eat your mushrooms,
You eat your mushrooms.
and you're getting all that ET.
You're getting the ET, yeah.
Yeah.
And studies have shown that people who eat a lot of mushrooms
Yeah.
tend to have higher levels of ET in their blood and tissues.
So it's not just like,
Right. It's not just theoretical.
it's theoretical.
It actually gets in there.
It's actually working.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
But what about supplements?
Yeah.
You mentioned ET pills earlier.
So supplements are out there.
Yeah.
You can find them in dosages ranging from like 5 milligrams to 50 milligrams per day.
Okay.
But the research on them is still pretty preliminary.
Right.
There are some early findings that suggest they might have some benefits.
Yeah.
But we need more research to be sure.
Like what kind of benefits?
So one area that's looking promising is cognitive function.
Oh. Yeah.
Since ET is such a powerful antioxidant
Right.
and it protects against oxidative stress,
Yeah.
researchers are thinking that it might help to protect our brains,
Mm.
and maybe even reduce the risk of things like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's.
Wow.
Yeah,
That would be huge.
that would be huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, and another area is cardiovascular health.
Okay.
ET has anti-inflammatory properties,
Right.
which could be helpful in preventing heart disease.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. And then, of course, there's the whole exercise connection.
Right.
Some people are thinking that ET might help with muscle recovery and endurance.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So, maybe taking a supplement around your workouts could be beneficial.
So the potential is there.
Yeah, the potential is definitely there.
But it's still early days.
It's still early days, yeah.
Oh.
We need more research.
More research is needed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to wrap it all up,
Yeah.
ergothioneine seems like a really amazing molecule.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Great.
It's got a lot going for it.
Yeah, it plays a key role in protecting our mitochondria,
Absolutely.
which are essential for energy and,
for everything.
for everything, right?
Yeah.
And exercise helps us use it better,
Yeah. That's the cool part.
which is great.
Yeah.
And we can get it from food.
Yeah, just eat your mushroom,
Eat your mushroom.
your beans,
Beans.
your whole grains.
Your whole grains.
You're good to go.
And then there are supplements.
Yeah.
Which,
Might be helpful.
might be helpful.
But we need more research. Yeah.
So the 2 main takeaways.
Okay.
Number 1, eat your ET-rich foods.
Eat your ET-rich foods. Check.
Number 2,
Number 2,
supplements might be helpful,
they might be,
but more research is needed.
always more research.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's it for our deep dive into ergothioneine.
It's a fascinating molecule.
It really is.
Yeah.
It makes me think,
Yeah.
given everything we've learned about ET,
Yeah.
how can we use this information to optimize our health and longevity?
Yeah. How can we get the most out of it?
Right.
Yeah. That's the question.
So I want you to think about that.
Yeah.
What changes can you make to increase your ET intake?
Maybe add some more mushrooms to your diet.
Some more mushrooms.
Yeah.
Maybe try some supplements.
Maybe.
But do your research.
Always do your research.
Talk to your doctor.
Yeah.
And, see what works for you.
Yeah. It's all about personalized health.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah. It's been fun.
Yeah, it has.
Thanks for having me.
And we'll see you next time.
See you next time.